Ben, good morning. First off, there's been a lot in the last 24, 48 hours about your documentary and about your situation. Can I ask you what the reaction from the players has been to what they've seen and heard?
Yeah, really good. I think it was a pretty nervous day for me, obviously going into what I went to and having my teammates there and stuff like that. But no, it's been nothing but good so far. So yeah, really pleased with that, and yeah, obviously seen a bit of what Joe said yesterday. So yeah, it's been yeah, it's really nice to hear them say what they said.
And how important do you think it is for someone in your position with your status to be able to come out and talk about these things, and how might that help other people?
Yeah, very important. I think it was when the project had finished and then I watched it, back for the first time. I think, first impressions I got was that hopefully it may be able to help people. And I went into quite a lot with it because, obviously the experiences I went through is something that a lot of people do go through, but sometimes you don't feel like you can. So I thought, me being me and the platform that I've got to go into what I went to, from a non-selfish point of view was something I wanted to do, and I'm actually very proud of the stuff I've gone into, and I've already received a lot of messages from people saying thanks for doing what you did. So yeah.
How cathartic has it been doing it?
It's a big word, that. What does that mean?
How much do you think it's helped you?
Oh, right. Yeah, I think it's... I don't know how much it's helped me. I think it's just... obviously, there's certain things which I've not been able to speak about too much, and probably for the first time. But, looking back on everything that, I went into and seeing myself in a different way was something that I can look at now and, look back on and almost go, I've gone through a lot of stuff, but I've managed to work myself through it, and then to be here today as England Test captain is something that hopefully a lot of people can take a lot of promise from, and realise that even when you do feel like you're down and dark, that you can bounce back for it and achieve something that you want to.
I'm sure others will have other questions about that. If I can ask you a bit about cricket, Ollie Robinson for Matthew Potts coming in, what's the thinking behind that?
Yeah, we think what Ollie offers as a bowler is he gets the most bounce out of our attack, and we think here at Old Trafford generally, with it being a slightly quicker wicket than other grounds he play at, and then obviously offers a lot more bounce. So obviously it's very tough for Matty to miss out, but what he's done in the 5 games that he's played is he's taken himself from a county cricketer with a lot of promise and really announced himself on the big stage. And also got to give him a lot of credit and to handle the decision so professionally at such a young age. I think that is a real indication of where we're at the moment as a team, is that the selection was based around what we thought was the best bowling attack to suit this particular ground, and he completely understood that. So for a 22-year-old to understand the bigger picture of what we're trying to achieve here and not not be sort of throwing his toys out the pram was honestly something that I think shouldn't be overlooked.
And on a wider note, obviously it was disappointing the manner of the defeat after 4 successive wins beforehand. What do you think you've learned from that?
Well, I think what we've learned from ourselves is that that you can't always go out there and perform how you want to perform, but we know that the address us to the game was like, look lads, we've obviously not performed to anywhere near the capabilities that we want to, and know we can, but it's not something that we're going to take backward steps from. South Africa were better than us in that test match, and that's fine. That sport is set up for someone to be a winner and someone to be a loser, and we're going to be focusing on this game and the next game, and obviously we want to win the series 2-1.
Thank you, good luck.
No worries, thanks.
We'll go Will, and then Rory, and then Will.
Ollie's had a kind of difficult year. He hasn't played so far. How has he been since you've had him back in the squad for the Lords? How has he seemed to you? How is he bowling? Did he look like a kind of bowler you saw last summer, I guess?
Yeah, Ollie's Ollie's a very popular member of the group in a very short space of time, considering he made his debut last summer. But he's fitted right back into the group, even though he's had a long time out. And he's deserved his call back up to the squad initially. And everything that we've seen, in the training days and how he's been around the group is exactly what we want. I think we all know the quality of a bowler he is, because when he's played for England, his skill set is incredible. But I think look at the way that he operated in the Lions game against South Africa. He bowled some long spells, 3 and 4 spells in a day, and took wickets as well. So yeah, I'm very excited for him to be able to put the England shirt on again, and it's something that he's worked very hard for, and he thoroughly deserves it.
Rory.
Has it been a tougher time than Ollie might have expected, do you think? Because obviously you were out there in the West Indies when he came out and he tried to get himself out on the park week after week after week, and it didn't happen. Did you have to make sure that, as I know that he was feeling really ready that he was going to come out this week when once picked and finish the job and sort of go right through the match for you?
Yeah, I think it obviously a very difficult time for Ollie, because there was more than just, well, it wasn't the fact his form was letting him down, it was his body, and that's obviously a very tough thing to deal with when you want to do something, but the thing that's needs to work for you to do that doesn't. But I think where he is now, he can look back on that and use it as something to always to look back on, and to gain experience from that, because he's here in the team, he's playing this week, so everything that's gone on in the past is something that he's obviously grown from, and he's learned a lot from about himself, not as in a person but as a player. I stayed in contact with him quite a lot throughout the period, and just told him any team that he plays is that team is very lucky to have him, because of what he possesses as a bowler. So as I said, very excited, he thoroughly deserves this, and I can't wait for him to go out there and show what he's all about.
And just on the documentary, obviously he drops on Friday during the Test match. Would you expect the South Africans to have a watch when they go back to the hotel? Would you be doing that if it was the opposition captain?
I probably wouldn't, no, but I don't know, not sure.
George, and then we'll do Mel.
Morning. Can I get you to reflect on your bowling spell at Lords? It obviously went really well. Nice to get a South African opener bounced out, but it looked like it really hurt. Where are you with your body, with your knee, and what's the long-term prognosis for your bowling?
Yeah, it was, obviously looking back on that, managed to get kind of 17 or 18 overs out, I think. But I guess it's just one of those things where just sort of have to see how we go. But, I don't think a bowler's ever bowled without pain, really. And it's something that I am able to manage and understand sort of where I am at, especially if, I am bowling and, it does start to flare up, but I know I can do it. I know I can get through that. And sometimes it looks a little bit worse than what it is because of how I have to offload it once I bowl, if that makes sense. But yeah, some days good, some days bad. I bowled at the back end of the day without any strapping on, and it was absolutely fine. So it's almost like roulette. Don't really know what I'm going to get sometimes, but yeah, it is what it is.
And just on the selection, is it fair to say that bowlers are left out a wee bit easier than batters?
No, I think I guess when you look at a wicket, you never really know what it's going to do. And you've obviously got to take into account, previous times you've played here, and we've always felt that Old Trafford is one of the quicker wickets that does offer a lot more bounce. So when you look at, what Ollie Robinson possesses as a bowler, one of his real key assets is how much extra bounce he gets compared to the other bowlers in our squad. So hopefully the wicket bounces, or I look a bit stupid by picking him, but no, he's that's the reason why, because of all the previous stuff that's gone on here at Old Trafford. So yeah, we obviously picked the team which we think is going to enable us to win the Test match.
Mel, go ahead.
Thanks. Just a couple on Ollie Robinson. I guess, especially with what you've sort of gone through in the documentary and dealing with things in the public eye, did you have a bit of a word with him, or very conscious of the fact that the criticism he got about his fitness and physicality was so public?
Yeah, look, I was very honest and truthful with Robbo, because I feel, you know, if that's, you know, something that people deserve, especially when I'm sort of someone who's in charge and, you know, has a big influence in what the team says. So rather than just trying to have a conversation to not, to know, just to get through it easy, I'd rather just let them know exactly where I stand, because then it enables them to go away to really work on what has been asked of them. And all I can say on Robbo is that he's done that to, you know, the absolute extreme. He really has worked hard behind the scenes, which is something that's probably not going to get reported, unfortunately. But look, I think, you know, when you are in the position we are in as, you know, international cricketers and stuff doesn't go wrong, obviously it's very easy to get put out there. But something that I've made a very firm point on with the team and stuff like that is just remember what we say to each other in this dressing room is what is the most important thing. Let's not try and let outside noise or anything try and get into here and influence what we do. So all the feedback that Robbo's got from myself, the coach, the people who have helped him get to where he is now, has been nothing but positive, and that's what he should take. That's what he should be listening to.
And just wondering if you got the feedback from Canterbury. Like, I think he bowled 4 spells on the first day, and his 4th one was probably his best. And then also bowling, like on the 4th day, it seemed like he got better. I wondered if that was a feedback that you got.
Yeah, it was. I was actually away on 2 days break with Claire and the kids in London, which Claire didn't appreciate me tuning into the YouTube stream to watch. So, but no, all the feedback I got from, I think it was great that Baz actually went down for the whole week as well, to not only, you know, see what the sort of the next in line guys are all about, but to also send the messages down to Lions Group from where we are. I think that's very important as well, is to get everything that we're talking about in our dressing room filtered down to the Lions, to county cricketers as well, which is what he did. But, you know, all the feedback from people who were there to watch Ollie Robinson in particular was very, very, very positive.
Okay, thank you. Cheers.
Sweet, cheers.